What's up, y'all? Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. Cecil West with, of course,
Jonathan Lippy.
and we are back with the question of the day. Today, John, I'm holding my Art of War double disc in my hands, and I want to know, why do you think Lazy, Crazy, and Wish had solo tracks, but Bizzy shared a track and Flesh didn't even have his?
Yeah, that's fun. Wishbone had a solo track and Busybone didn't. But when I used to look at that, I always just felt that the Busybone track with Mr. Majesty, Seven Sign, I felt like that was Busy's solo track, even though it wasn't a solo track. And dating back to a uh, a question of the day we did before, where we discussed the lyrics of "Can't Give It Up," Busy said, "I was never on some solo tip." And so maybe he just thought that he's like, hey, man, we're releasing a Bone Thugs and Harmony album. Why do we all have these solo tracks on it? That doesn't make any sense. But it did make sense because that was the launching of all the solo careers. So I guess they were
Hmm.
thinking about it even back at Art of War, that there were a bunch of solos were going to come out. And maybe also Busy was thinking, well, I got Heaven's Movie coming right around the corner, guys. So I'm not going to give you any extra tracks. I don't know. I really don't have an answer. It's just a what do I think? And I think he just had it was probably dealt with contracts, probably dealt with him not wanting to be part of the group. He wasn't showing up for the music videos. So, I think it had to do with that. But I really don't know why. But I always considered Seven Sign to be the Busy solo track that launched the name of his own particular label to go along with the Mo Thugs for Lazy and Thug Line for Crazy.
And Flesh?
Flesh didn't really have Fleshbone Global at the time. I mean, Flesh, I guess, was part of Mo Thugs. Kind of Crazy was part of Mo Thugs too. Like I don't really don't remember when Thug Line really got established. I guess that it got established after he left Mo Thugs. So yeah, I guess it was just Mo Thugs and Seven Signs. So maybe even at the time, Busy was like, you know what, you guys could do your Mo Thugs thing. He didn't show up on any of the songs on Mo Thugs, and he did his Seven Sign thing. So we might need to investigate. Like, I never even dawned on me how Crazy, Lazy Wish, and Flesh were doing Mo Thugs, and Busy had Seven Sign, and Busy had a song called Seven Sign on Art of War, and Busy was already at that time kind of dipping out on the whole group thing. So yeah, that never dawned on me to this moment.
So I'm just gonna follow up and say that, I think you're a million percent on the money, as that's considered the Busy Bone solo. If you look through the booklet of the Art of War, when you get to what they consider the solo songs, it actually says their names next to each one, to kind of designate that this is a solo song. And that's definitely what it says next to the Busy Bone Seven Sign. It says Busy Bone, even though it features Majesty. My feelings have always been that he absolutely could have had a solo song. In fact, I think they probably wanted it to be a Busy Bone solo song, but I think Busy was setting up for Seventh Sign. I think he had his eyes on the prize with things like, his solo. Busy saw a lot of the writing on the wall early on. We know that. And I think he saw this as a chance to put one of his Seventh Sign artists on a major platform, uh, and hopefully help springboard Seventh Sign. So, we know Majesty is on there more than once. So I think it was easy for him to say, yeah, man, y'all need to put my little homie Majesty on and get it done. But to get it done again, I think he had to sacrifice his solo song, and it was worth doing because, like I said, we're getting ready to launch Seventh Sign. Busy's thinking of the future. I want to get one of my artists on a big platform as much as I can. What's a bigger platform than the album following up E1999 Eternal?
Yeah, and and Thug Love too. The original is kind of like a Busy-esque solo, if we consider the one with Majesty being a solo. It's like Busy's project, not necessarily a solo track
I've
kind of thing.
thought about that as well. I definitely thought about, was Thug Love originally going to be a Busy Bone solo? And by solo, I mean Busy said, well, I'm going to get Tupac on it. And of course, we know Silky Fine hooked it up. So that's why he had Silky Fine on the track. And I've always thought maybe that was considered his solo. We know he brought that song to the table, and Tamika was the one that said, "Nah, this has got to be a group track." Um, so I have always wondered if that was originally his solo, and Tamika was just like, "Nah, this has to be the whole group."
Yeah,
So
could be.
uh, that's that's the Busy Bone piece. Flesh and Bone, I think, is an easy answer. Flesh and Bone wasn't with him. I think Flesh was getting paid per appearance, and I think an entire Flesh Bone solo on this, they just wasn't cost effective. Just didn't make fucking sense.
Oh, I didn't even realize that's what you were asking. Like, why doesn't Flesh have a solo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, his solo album had dropped prior to Art of War, so maybe he was all soloed out at that point.
But I think the point of doing this was you got this big double disc group album, and then you wanted to give each one a solo to shine on here. Whether he had it or not, it would have been a different feel. It would have been the Art of War DJ Unique feel. Would have been interesting to hear. But like I said, I think that just is contracts and moolah, baby.
Well, and actually, I guess there are 5 solos because Crazy does 2 of them, right? He's got Hard
Yeah,
Times and
yeah.
he's got
Well,
Neighborhood Slang. Did he have
right.
another one?
I think yeah. I think is it's all real. Is that just him?
Oh yeah. Okay, so Crazy having 3 solo tracks and
But
then
they don't
Wish and then
consider.
Lazy.
I don't think they consider that like neighborhood slang is considered like an intro.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So
Yeah. But
you know
it's an intro number 6 on the album. How is it intro to You Ain't Bone? It's like
it flows good. I've always thought it flowed
yeah.
good when that wind drops, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden busy and the wind just keeps going out of neighborhood slang and out of nowhere just busy bone man gets me
It,
fucking charged.
while we're on this, and I've asked this probably 2 other times already on the show, but since we're on the topic of Art of War, Evil Paradise, what is all that empty space? Were they supposed to have extra verses? Are there any theories on why all that blank dead space is on Evil Paradise? Is he
Well,
supposed to have a verse right there?
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, is there somebody missing from that song?
Probably. It could have been one of the best tracks on the album if they didn't have all that dead space. If they, I mean, it's not dead space where there's no audio, but it's just beat, and it sounds like a
Yeah,
verse should have been laid on top of
right.
there. Sometimes
It's
I
too
wonder.
long to be too long to be a ride out.
Right, and not only that, it's there's Mo Thug Family Tree is after it, so maybe okay, but maybe Evil Paradise may have been the last track, and that was like the Mo Cheese ride out for Art of War, and then at the end they're like, hey, we got this Mo Thug Family Tree, let's slap that on the end. But
Well, guys, that's why we think Lazy Crazy and Wish had the only true solos on the Art of War. We want to know why you guys think that Busy shared his solo slot and Flesh didn't have a solo on the Art of War. Make sure you drop your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that share button and share this with another Bone fan. We will catch you on the next.